Friendship, romance, and a little bit of murder, mystery, intrigue can be found in Croatia. And also in The Weekend Away, a Netflix original directed by Kim Farrant, who directed Strangeland and Angel of Mine, written by Sarah Alderson, who wrote the novel, I assume called The Weekend Away. They weren't exactly clear on that on IMDb. And the stars Leighton Meester, who was in Gossip Girl and also in a really bad revenge slasher called The Roommate. If you don't remember The Roommate, don't worry, it wasn't memorable at all. I had to struggle to remember anything about it. But I do remember Leighton Meester and Minka Kelly were in it. And they were a pretty good pair in that movie, and that was really about it for the positive points. So this is set in Croatia. Just anywhere in Croatia. Doesn't exactly specify, it's just in the beautiful, beautiful area of Croatia. And you have Beth, played by Leighton Meester, and Kate, played by Christina Wolf, who is hungry like the wolf because she's recently divorced. She's gonna get out and go with a bunch of men on the town, and she's gonna get drunk and possibly high, and she's gonna be hungry like the wolf. Okay, enough, mocking the Duran Duran songs. Basically, this movie has two best friends. You have Kate, you have Beth, and Beth has a husband back home and a newborn kid, and she's happy, but she also wants to be there with her friend who is recently divorced, and they decide to just have a fun night on the town in Croatia. There's a couple guys that they meet at a club, and then the next day, Kate is missing. Nobody knows what's going on, and a mystery starts to unfold. What happened to Kate? Is it John and Kate plus 8? No, it is not, thank God, because this is actually better than John and Kate plus 8. But then again, I've shat things out that were better than John and Kate plus 8, especially Kate, that goddamn bitch. But anyway, back to this. Basically, Beth, is trying to figure out what happened with her best friend. And as things unfold, she basically gets wrapped up in, this attempt at a deep plot that basically just has everybody out together except for one particular guy. A cab driver named Zane, played by, and I had to write this down, Ziad Boukri, who actually wasn't that bad in this. And she's also communicating with her husband back home, and the police don't believe her. One may not. It seems like one really doesn't believe her. And there's just a whole bunch of stuff. Am I too early in the review to basically say it's one of the most cliche-ridden messes that I've ever fucking seen put on a streaming service? I mean, this is bafflingly bad. This is really bad, really cliche, really aggressively fucking boring. And I'm not even saying it's the fault of the cast or the people behind it. I literally just think that everybody was almost held at gunpoint and said, make this in the most cliche way possible. I've never read the novel by Sarah Alderson, so I don't know how much better it is compared to this. It can't be any worse. And source material, put into like a 85-minute movie, it's not always going to have the best results. But Jesus Christ, they didn't even fucking try here. Like every bit of cliche, like, okay, we have this husband back home with the newborn. We have we have the wife over here that's trying to figure out what happened to her friend. This one cab driver, Zane, is trying to help her. And since she's in a foreign country, naturally the cops are going to be, a little bit wondering what's going on with the tourists. Also, there's this weird hotel owner named Sebastian, who's like one of the creepiest goddamn people out there, and it's actually shockingly bad how they manage to fuck up even the most basic things. This could not be any more agonizingly just bland and stupid if they tried. Like, everything you can see coming from a mile away, I called it in the first 5 minutes what was going to happen. Once I found out these few details, okay, that's what's going to happen. And even though they try to deviate with that, they have a shocking twist at the end, and it turns out that it actually was, what anybody with even one working goddamn brain cell could have figured out. I'll get into spoilers here in a little bit, but everything about this is just so mind-numbingly lacking in any nuance, any creativity, anything. Nobody is really that good in the movie. The characters are very, very one-note. And they just come up with convenient ways to, explain this stuff away. And then suddenly they say, oh, no, it's actually this. Oh, no, it was actually this over here. Oh, wait, no, maybe it was this person. Maybe she was jealous of her best friend. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was that. Maybe it was space aliens from the third ring of Saturn. That would have been a lot more interesting, but that would have required them to actually put effort into this movie. And yeah, this movie was really, really bad. It was an attempt to do this murder mystery thing, but again, the Lifetime movie label was so apt. I have expected commercial breaks to pop up during this damn thing because that's just how close to the Lifetime formula it was. You have a possible, side romance. You have people that are dicks and then people that suddenly aren't dicks. And again, it's just so cliche, so fucking ridiculous. And they even attempt to have a couple chase scenes, but they couldn't afford car chase scenes. They just had people run on foot. So everybody's cardio must have been really goddamn good for about 2 fucking minutes because they didn't have a whole lot of chase, because they couldn't afford much of anything. I think they blew most of the budget on bringing Leighton Meester in and also filming in Croatia. I assume it's expensive to film in Croatia. I don't know anything about Croatia. Looks like a beautiful city. And really, that's about it. It's about it for the goddamn non-spoiler section. But yeah, it's on Netflix, so if you got, 85 minutes to kill, there are worse ways. It's certainly better than Fatal Affair, if you ever saw that movie. This was better, not by much, though. Anyway, yeah, let's get into spoilers. Spoilers. Okay, so Beth has that, husband back home, and Kate's still communicating somewhat with her, significant, or her former significant other, but maybe not. Maybe there's something else going on here. Oh, geez, so I mentioned Beth had her husband and the kid back home. Kate was talking to somebody on the night that they were going to go out partying. And also, Kate had just gotten a necklace from Beth. And, one of the stones fell out and everything. And, oh, my God, I bought it online. Oh, it's okay. They go out and party. And she's yelling at somebody on the phone. And then they party with 2 male escorts that it turns out actually stole Kate's stuff. And Kate has to go off and do something and try and report it to the police and stuff like that. And then, but we find this out later. Beth basically is struggling to remember anything because it turns out that she actually was drugged by these 2 male escorts. And then, essentially what ends up happening is this stupid, just bland mystery unfolds. Zane, it turns out, has this backstory where he's a Syrian refugee. His wife got killed, and he's coming here to make a new life and everything. Okay, he seems somewhat genuine. Then the cops get involved. And they say, yeah, Beth, you ended up killing her. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. I'm remembering this stuff now. Convenient. A lot of continuous flashbacks. Continuing Croatian flashbacks, basically. Be a good title, except it also sounds like a weird nervous condition. This, leads us to finding out that basically the hotel owner, Sebastian, had been filming all this stuff all the goddamn time. And he actually filmed all that stuff that happened on that night, where Kate is wondering what the hell is going on, because now her passport's been taken away. This one cop in particular is wondering what the fuck is going on. Like this one cop's like, well, why haven't you filed this report? Asking her other cop. Oh, I didn't feel the need to. This male cop is like, I don't need to, or whatever. She's a tourist. She's clearly a murderer and everything. I haven't done anything wrong. Wink, wink. And what it turns out to be is that Kate actually was killed by this cop. Kate was killed by this cop. She sees this on this footage, and Zane keeps helping her, and he must have no other fares in the goddamn world, must have all the money to just give her free rides everywhere. Obviously, he likes her, but he's giving her free rides. Why? Well, somebody has to be the good character. And then Beth sees this footage, and she's like, oh my God, it was this cop. This cop did it. And then there's this chase on foot and everything. This cop gets to her. It's the funniest damn thing in the world. Funniest damn thing in the world. Gets up there. They're around this, there's this opening down there. It was just like a spiral, runaround or whatever. I don't really know how to describe the building, but there's this opening, and it's like probably a good 100-foot drop. And the good cop, this, female cop, Kovac, sees him doing that, and it's like, hey, stop, what are you doing? Beth then somehow manages to inadvertently cause the death of this cop, this male cop. Just falls. Oh, okay, I guess that's it. He's dead. He was the one that killed Kate. And then, wait, we still got like 20 minutes left, so obviously that wasn't it. Or maybe we're just going to get a ton of epilogue. Oh, remember the husband? It turns out the husband and Kate were having an affair. So, geez, that's just your third act twist right there. Because Kate wanted to tell, Beth about it because she felt bad. But Rob was like, no, you can't do that, or whatever. You can't do that. Beth confronts Rob. It turns out that Rob ended up flying over there and then flying back after he had killed Kate. Why? Because he didn't want the secret coming out about that, and then she kicks him and takes the kid, because they got a newborn kid. That was 85 minutes of a goddamn movie that really just wasn't any fucking good at all. It was really, really fucking ass. Terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And the sad thing is that plot was pretty easy to summarize. I'm amazed that I got any amount of time out of a movie that was this dreadful. Gets an F. It absolutely gets an F. Not that anybody could have saved this movie. The material was ass, and everything about it was just cliche and ridiculous, and any characters they introduced that could have been villains, they just started chucking fucking shit right there. They just kept chucking it screen, and it got really, really bad. So yeah, F. Absolutely an F. Agree, disagree what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.